Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today we have another internet historian video, and this one is TheVarus Strakes Buck. What? God dang it. I hate the internet historian and their stupid titles. Alright, TheVarus Strakes Buck. Okay. Alright. That is part 2 of the COVID nonsense. Alright, let's take a look at what other insanity has happened for all these years. Satire. That's right. I remember. Remember it ended and we were on Mars.
Thank you, all of my children. We're here today to test the launch of my new cyber rocket. With this, I pledge to you that we will have a man on the Earth by the year 2030. But before we embark on this journey,
I like how it's like a Tesla with wings.
we must talk about some of the mistakes of the past, so that we are not doomed to repeat them.
Oh, yeah, unfortunately, that doesn't matter. No matter what, humans are always going to be doomed to repeat whatever dumb nonsense. We've always been doing that. Doesn't matter the year. We just keep repeating the same garbage over and over and over again. Every generation keeps screwing up the same thing. It is getting slightly better in most ways every single year. Slightly. And that's dependent on the person.
Anyway, it was a sunny day in downtown Wuhan, and people were coughing into each other's mouths, as is customary in that part.
Wow.
You're going viral, douchebag. I'm a big man, and I'm gonna pull out my dick.
February 2020, the virus is everywhere. But some were sneaking out, others not taking it seriously at all.
I was like, define sneaking out. I mean, I guess breaking quarantine depends on the country you're in. Breaking quarantine in the U.S. is not generally a huge problem. People just get annoyed at you, but a lot of people just didn't care. And then the only time it's really a problem is when it's like, one of those like super deadly. Well, I guess COVID was deadly for a lot of people. So, I don't know. It's when they have your house under like actual like house arrest lock, and they're like, yeah, you can't leave your house ever. That's a little different.
Cough directly in my face.
People were outside, going about their normal lives.
Get drunk before everything closes.
It was time for drastic action. So, the mayors and governors from around the world gathered
What the heck is that attached to the side of the... Okay.
together with a solution
Yeah.
to the problem of sneaking out while grounded. Snitching hotlines.
Were those really a thing? I mean, what? What were they going to possibly do? Just come up to you and be like, you shouldn't be outside. I mean, in most places, that wouldn't actually do anything. I guess it may depend on the country.
Snitches get rewards.
Simply take a picture of someone and text it to the official snitch line to put those rule breakers in their place.
What's up, boys?
Is that Asmongold on the outside? Oh my gosh, someone told me I have to watch Asmongold's $2 steak. So I guess we'll be checking that out after this video.
Over here at Wendy's.
What a scoop!
I wasn't aware Asmongold could even like leave his house. Or even, I know he owns a company, has supposedly been on talk shows, but I just figured they just like superimposed him onto things. Although, fun like side fact, I think he used to work like for the IRS of all places.
Instant justice.
Some people need to get the message. Send a photo, and we will make sure that enforcement comes right away.
But now
Oh, okay. New York. Okay, I can totally see New York rewarding people for calling, basically calling their neighbors in on a hotline. I could totally see New York doing this. I could see Texas doing this for other things. I could see every state doing this for a very specific thing that they hold dear in their own state. So,
naturally, many New Yorkers did not take very kindly to this idea. So, they decided to text the hotline as well. Text after text came rolling in. What a success! Let's open the first one. Surprised. Turns out people weren't just sending in tips. They were sending the whole shaft. Oh Jesus, next one. Next.
This is like Facebook and YouTube when they first had their initial content watchers. People were getting PTSD from those jobs, so eventually they just had AI do it.
Next. Just close it. I can't, it's just going faster. Text after text was the same. Pictures of people giving the finger, dick pics, edgy Blasio memes. This isn't helping at all. Sir, our servers can't handle this amount of erotica all at once. Well, save some of the more tasteful nudes on this thumb drive and shut it down. And so...
I could totally see New York mayors and whatnot doing that too, saving a bunch of random stuff on thumb drives.
But the snitches forgot the first rule of snitching. Snitches get unmasked by state sunshine laws. In Missouri, they have them.
So how many states have sunshine laws? I mean, I know Florida, obviously. So Florida's specifically is a little bit different in the fact that a lot of the dumb stories that we hear about Florida happen in every state. Like, all the Florida man stuff, those happen everywhere. But Florida's dumb law, instead of requiring a journalist to basically call in and request information on specific arrests, which they may not even know about, in Florida you get signed up to a newsletter where they just send you these arrests, and you're like, oh, okay, cool, I can write about this dumb thing that happened yesterday.
2 weeks after their own snitching program went live, turned out it was all subject to public record by anyone who requested it. So not only is all of this information not anonymous or private, it's published indefinitely on a government website with zero redaction.
Oh, of course.
Oh dear. Of course, I'm not going to put any of those details here. But if you live in Missouri and you're
that doesn't necessarily matter because you can just go request it.
Curious.
Links, as always, are in the description down below.
In Washington and Louisiana, people were unmasked too. In Frisco, Texas, they made an app for snitching as well. But there was backlash and it was terminated. In LA, the mayor's infamous
Snitches get rewards.
statement was walked back. In Victoria, a couple was fined $1,500
Yeah, that sounds like something LA would say.
each for going on a drive to Lake's entrance and posting photos on social media.
You there, sir? I certainly hope you've got a license.
Warned that if they do it again, they would be arrested. Except the photos were from a year ago.
Okay. That's really messed up. Now, I really hope they didn't have to pay that, considering those there are obvious timestamps on those things.
Going to get everything right all the time, and we will make mistakes.
But worst of all was the UK.
9 coppers for one lad.
Well, you relax.
Ridiculous.
194,000 calls in a single month had been
Jeez.
made regarding people leaving their homes without a license, and tens of thousands of fines had been issued.
The British frown down on telltales.
I could totally see a lot of people in the UK totally doing this through their neighbors. I mean, it's not everyone, but I've been watching a lot of the Lost in the Pond type stuff, and there's some definite differences to where I can totally see this happening in the UK. And they'd be all legitimate calls from your neighbor that just always hides behind the curtains and watches you all day, kind of a nonsense.
There's even an old nursery rhyme.
Telltale tit, your tongue shall be slit.
What's funny is I didn't even know any of this was happening. I was busy working on other projects and things, but for the most part, I had no idea there were actually snitch lines and things like that. That's crazy.
You make any more noise, and I'm calling the police.
Show me what you've got. Yeah!
And yet, while normal everyday activities were being criminalized, regular crimes were being made de facto legal.
Good job.
Police do nothing around here.
And in major cities, it seemed as though everyone was going for the high score.
Was this when people were smash and grab in places?
People aren't afraid to go out on the street at night. What can we do to increase crime? I have an idea. In New York and LA, they experimented with reducing bail to 0 and it went exactly as you'd expect.
Why would... Okay. That's stupid as heck. I mean, were they just trying to get, like, low offenders off out of the jail system because of, you know, trying to stop the spread of the virus? But yeah, okay.
Back.
I'm sure that went great.
But it wasn't enough. So they said, any burglaries up to $1,000 worth of goods would no longer result in the police showing up to the scene.
Yeah, I remember that one specifically. I didn't realize that was just LA and New York. This what? Why would the... You could literally just go in and rob a place and be like, it's cool, officers, I only stole $988. Not $1,000. It's no worries.
So you're telling me that I can steal up to $1,000 worth of goods, and the police won't even try to make an arrest?
Well, maybe one day, if somehow they're identified.
But you want everyone to wear a mask, too.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of cities are trying to ban masks now. So, yeah, everything's going great. And this doesn't matter what side of the mask debate you're on for this one. This is just, you know, from a common sense standpoint. I guess once they get to the point where basically every camera has like an eye detection, like it can detect who everyone is via their eyes, or just any random thing. Like every time you're born, there's a chip in your head, and it's just you're automatically tracked. Then masks won't matter. Elon Musk and his brain chip.
So people walked up to the buffet and had their fill.
If you could walk into a store, grab what you want, and just go, what would you...
Okay, I remember this too. Now, was this Walgreens that did this? I know Amazon did this, but it was actually... It failed. It was actually all the items were being tested by like random, like they were being verified by people like actually behind a computer screen, making sure that everything was run through correctly. It wasn't just like an AI system.
Shopping look like?
Oh my God! Call the police!
Welcome to Amazon Go. We call it Just Walk Out technology.
Piece of shit. Hope you overdose. Piece of shit.
Take whatever you like.
Sometimes when I call 911, nobody answers.
So I like how he's superimposing a commercial for Amazon Go, which mostly failed, by the way, onto everyone just stealing from other stores. This is hilarious. It's bad, but it's really funny.
No lines, no checkout. No, seriously.
Is that a smash and grab on an Amazon truck? I mean, what's really going to be in there? I guess maybe some pet food and maybe an Apple Watch, maybe one laptop. But I don't know.
Don't seem to care who's watching.
Once you've got everything you want, you can just go.
Filling bags and backpacks in the middle of the day.
You can keep going. Amazon Go.
I mean, to be fair, when I worked at a mall, you know, security guards weren't allowed to actually stop anyone stealing from anything. It's just, you couldn't really, like, grab onto anyone. You couldn't do any of that. We could call security, but it was kind of a front in a lot of ways. They could really only protect you in certain cases from, like, violent type crimes, like, you know, like, people attacking you. They could maybe break up a fight type of a deal. But the reality is a lot of security guards would also just walk away from that too, because they didn't have any weapons. Why would they get in why would they get into the middle of that? They'd end up going back and calling the police. So security in a lot of places is kind of meant for it's kind of like those fake cameras you can stick on walls as deterrents, you know. You're just hoping that their presence alone will help.
Good. Tomorrow morning? Tomorrow morning.
Not enough crime. Release the felons. So it was ordered. Anyone who had non-violent misdemeanors, serving sentences of less than a year, or scheduled to be free in 30 days or fewer, was released.
Okay, I mean, if you're going to be scheduled to be released within 30 days, who cares? What's the difference between 30 days in, 5 days. There's not a huge major difference if you're going to be released anyway. As for the nonviolent crimes, that's it depends on which one. But yeah, let's see which ones were the problem.
And the results? Predictable. One man only lasted 37 minutes before being arrested again. Another man was arrested 3 times in one day.
Okay, the 3 times in one day is interesting. I guess he kept getting out on bail, but or was bail not a thing at this point? But the I mean, if you're getting, how many people weren't rearrested? I want to know that number. Because it doesn't. The thing that bugs me is the 30 days. If you're going to be freed in 30 days, you're just going to keep digging yourself a hole if you keep getting rearrested. Because at some point, that's going to reset.
First for attempting to break into a vehicle, next for stealing items out of someone's front yard, and then again for stealing a vehicle. And each time he was arrested, he just moonwalked out of there.
For his 7th time, he got arrested for stealing a vehicle. So apparently he's not very good at it.
Crime rates went right through the ceiling. Famous criminal time. Tekashi 6ix9ine was released early.
Yeah, wasn't this like a COVID release?
From his 18-month sentence, and instantly broke Instagram and YouTube records with his live stream and music video. Other high-profile names?
That guy's such a weirdo. But, okay.
Asking for early release include R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, Martin Shkreli, and our good friend Billy McFarland. Breakout time!
What about all the people that got those loans that they didn't have to pay back for their businesses, and a lot of people just spent the money on themselves? Aren't those the
then
same
some
people?
Prisoners came together with an idea.
What's your plan?
Well, if we have an outbreak at our prison, then maybe they just have to let some of us go. Worth a shot. So prisoners at the North County Correctional Facility tried passing around water containers and shared a mask to get it. It worked, somewhat, as 30 prisoners soon tested positive for the virus. But then administrators cottoned on to what they were doing, and none of them were released.
I wonder if any of them died from it.
Speaking of people who should be in prison, celebrities. We have forgotten about the important people. Guys, we're bored too. They crave the attention. They need it. Without it, they will surely shrivel and perish. But when everything gets shut down and they're trapped in their homes and can't get on TV, they begin to go a little stir.
No, they just joined YouTube and Instagram and all the other stuff that all the influencer celebrities join.
Okay guys, now I know we're all feeling the struggle right now. Without television and press following you around, you need to make yourselves trend. We need you now more than ever. Jimmy, female Jimmy, you're the funny guys, you must continue working from home. Your biggest competitor now is a Swedish boy that reacts to funny videos on his kitchen floor.
Sounds doable.
I don't know, that guy is probably amazing.
It was toilet paper. It was a huge box of, I was like a kid on the toilet on Christmas morning. 60 double rolls of
Is this like a stand-up comic from his house?
Heaven.
I mean, it's Jimmy Kimmel.
That fun game, protected from the coronavirus or a botched nose job. Or both.
Everyone in here is gay.
Hello, everybody out there.
No, shut it down. How about an uplifting song to boost morale? This could be our generation's We Are the World.
Yeah, I can give it a go. I love uplifting music.
Thank you, gal.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you
Imagine there's no heaven. This is not the time when everyone's Grammy's dying, you fucking idiot. You feel like they've...
I'm glad I don't know like half of these people. I haven't watched actual TV in nearly 25 years.
That they feel like they did something significant.
She's so happy. Gal Gadot, whatever fuck her name is, Wonder Woman.
I lost my job at the meatpacking plant, but Gal Gadot sang Imagine.
And it's a terrible version. You guys suck at singing.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh boy. Madonna, how about an inspirational speech to lift those faces? I mean, spirits.
That's the thing about COVID-19. It doesn't care about how rich you are. It's the great equalizer.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's an equalizer in the fact that, a lot of rich people could potentially die. Yeah. It doesn't leave out the fact that a lot of rich people have unlimited amounts of money going towards every experimental random treatment you could possibly think of or want. It doesn't leave out the fact that they they have a lot more resources just in general than the average schmuck.
And what's terrible about it is what's great about it. What's terrible about it is it's made us all equal in many ways. And what's wonderful about it is that it's made us all equal in many ways.
Great. Can you donate the rest of your money to the rest of us, and then we can all be equal?
Jesus Christ. Maybe just stick to singing.
There we go.
More pasta. Oh no. So we're gonna eat some fried fish.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everything on that little countertop right there off to the left side was more expensive than everything in my entire office.
Let's try somebody else. Keep it positive, you know.
Cause the last shit comes from motherfucking China.
Thank you, Cardi. You really are the voice of reason.
Government, let me tell y'all motherfuckers something. Guess what, bitch? Coronavirus! It is getting real!
Well, that was... Vanessa, maybe you can speak to your fans? You seem to have a lot of free time at the moment.
Like, yeah, people are gonna die. It's just terrible, but like, inevitable?
Oh god. Oh jeez. We're losing...
I mean, yeah. People die from everything every day.
You guys in your massive houses and complaining isn't relatable at all. We need to meet them on their level.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those videos were great. You're like, oh, cool, I can see what my idol looks like in their house. And then you realize their kitchen is more expensive than your entire house. And you're like, I kind of feel bad now.
I've got this.
Cried for a second. And I was going to do it by myself. And then I thought, you know what? It's important for everybody.
I thought you just got, like,
before I
smash it into
continue,
something.
Add time.
Oh, God. Is this not a NordVPN one? It's a Raycon one?
The name's Ray. Raycon. But you can call me Raycon Man.
Okay. This one's great. This is going to be a great one. 20 years ago.
Dad, look, I got you a present. Thanks, son. Let's go throw the old football around in celebration of my new present. Wired headphones. With wires.
Ew.
Why, son? Why?
Yep. You know, I really wonder, has a wired headphone ever actually decapitated someone? Someone should go find that story and let me know in the comments if that's actually ever killed anyone.
Hey, you're responsible.
No. Never again. Gotcha! Wired headphones, you dangerous bitch.
Wait, what?
Huh? I can't hear you. I have my everyday E25 Raycon earbuds in. I'll save you. Well, there's another one. Don't worry, I'll save you too. Now you two kiss. 6 hours of playtime.
Honestly, I never have bought any specific sponsored items from anyone, but I might go buy Raycons just because of Raycon,
Half
man.
the price of other premium brands. Raycon good, wires bad. Will you seamlessly connect your Bluetooth with me?
Can I get a closer look? Wow, I love the range of colors they come in. Of course I will. Let me just put them
I was like, do they only come in black?
in right now. Wow, they fit so snug.
Wow. I think I'll put mine in as well. Just don't insert them into other holes. Hey Doc, it's happened again.
I don't know how it went in there. I don't get it.
Raycon good, wires bad.
No, wait.
Cleaning is as easy as...
Okay, that's like the worst time. The only time Raycon would be bad. Just randomly cutting any random wire. Jeez.
1, 2, 3. What's wrong? Don't want to live in cyberpunk and have your brain all f***ed up by 5G?
The 5G thing from last episode.
Raycon good, wires bad.
Go to buyraycon.com.
Okay, that was extra bad.
/internet store to save 15% off your first order of the everyday even 25 earbuds from Raycon. Ad over.
Onions.
Honestly, that was one of the better ads.
Yellow onions. Onion.
6-pound onion. Gripping the onion like a tennis ball.
It's time for an uplifting story. Pren Murti Pandey, 56, works at Mumbai airport. Everything was going into lockdown and he wanted to be with his family. But they were in Allahabad and he was stuck in Andheri East. Just fly. No flights. Just drive. Not so simple. Roads are closed to all non-essential travel.
That's true. In a lot of places, the roads were like literally completely blocked off. In the U.S., a lot of people more or less just stopped driving because they had traffic and they wanted to do work from home. But for the most part, roads weren't like blocked off in the U.S.
What to do? So he hatched a plan. I'll become an essential traveler. He started with a test case. He hired a truck and drove 200 kilometers to Pimpelgina. Bought 1,300 kilograms of watermelon.
So good.
Come to terms with the already large quantity of melons we already have.
And sent the truck back to Mumbai, where he had a cellar. Success. Wasn't stopped, even sold the goods at a profit.
Nice.
We're an essential traveler now, boys. Time to do it again, but this time all the way home. So he hired another truck, got an onion permit, and this time bought 25,520 kilograms of onions. And the article says he disguised himself as an onion seller. I don't know what that looks like, so here's this. He then hauled ass 1,200 kilometers over 3 grueling days and nights through 3 states to get home. He makes it. Now to sell the goods and see my family. He stopped at the wholesale market just on the outskirts of town and tried to find a buyer for the onions. Except, nobody wanted them.
Ooh.
Onions? Anyone? Onions? Because of the lockdown, there was a huge glut in the market.
Whoa, that's a big onion. Look at that. Woo!
Onions. Everybody loves onions. Onions? Onions?
Uh-oh. That bankrupted?
Daddy's coming home, and he's smelling of onions.
Did he have to drive all the way back?
By the late afternoon, he just gave up and drove the truck to his house to be with his family. However, the next day, knock knock. It's the police. Oh no, you're not here to buy some onions, are you? And they were not. So he spent the next 2 weeks in the quarantine center, and he's still looking for a buyer for the onions.
Mr. Clean gets rid of dirt and grime.
You know what's funny is that's one weird story of like a million, because plenty of people did weird shit during the lockdowns.
Grease in just a minute. Mr. Clean will clean your whole house and everything that's in it.
Is this the when people freaked out about hand sanitizer, or is this specific to the Mr. Clean stuff?
I need some hand sanitizer. When the outbreak first happened, there was one clear piece of advice from the WHO.
Who?
Wash your hands.
Yeah, well, if anything happened that was good, it was getting people to wash their hands more often.
Both soap and hand sanitizer would work, but we had plenty of soap. So naturally, we panicked about the hand sanitizer. Good thinking.
That's gold. That's gold.
And panic soon turned to profit.
Yeah, the same thing with the toilet paper.
People had seen the rush on toilet paper and they knew to get in quick. And 2 of the fastest shoppers in the West were entrepreneurial brothers
I can't remember. Did these guys get in trouble for this?
Matt and Noah. They hopped in their truck and drove from town to town, state to state, buying up every bottle they could get their immaculately disinfected hands on. Hundreds. Grabber, grabber, grabber. By the end, thousands. 17,000 bottles in all. The plan? Sell them on eBay and Amazon at a huge markup. It was the perfect crime. Well, until the inevitable happened. Everyone got super mad. The New York Times, low on hand sanitizer themselves, decided to investigate the brothers. And they wrote an article. The unsterilized masses made complaints.
I don't like this one bit.
Please send the cops immediately.
And then someone went to Jeff and told. Jeff made their online accounts go to sleep. eBay followed suit. Now there was nowhere to sell their goods. Then the law got involved, and the DA said, price gouging illegal. Me angry.
Yeah, it was like... Usually the price gouging stuff, though, specifically only applies to like major companies. But in this case, because they kind of set it up most likely as an actual kind of a company type thing, it kind of affected them as well, didn't it?
So the authorities called up Matt and Noah. Hey guys. Hey, good to hear from you. You too. Afraid it's not entirely a social call though. Oh no? Yes, price gouging illegal. So what you want, prison or philanthropy? We're sending over a squad car now. I have decided to give back to the community. So the police pull up, the media too, and Matt and Noah announce that they will be giving it all away for free. They did an interview for television and wore this amazing shirt.
The pricing on Amazon was definitely higher than retail.
Would you say you're sorry?
No, I don't think that I would.
Note. A similar thing happened in Adelaide, Australia, when a man bought up hundreds of packs of toilet paper and hand sanitizer. Then he realized he couldn't sell it, and tried to return it all back to Drake's supermarket.
And they're like, no.
Drake himself told the guy to please leave.
I told him that.
He has a YouTube channel, by the way, but this did little to abate the shortage of supply and overall price gouging. But don't be too mad at these guys. They're small timers, microscopic, compared to China. Stop! Oh, sorry. What I mean is, compared to the brave heroes at the CCP. There's an outbreak. Xi Jinping, you're our only hope. So a call was sent out. Ni hao. To companies all around the world, especially in the West. We want you to send staff out to every retail store you can to buy up personal protective equipment, especially masks. And ship it all back to China.
That actually happened? That's actually pretty funny. Well, I guess that specifically means every country's in it for themselves.
Thank you, Xi Jinping. All in a day's work. The scale here, by the way, is just ridiculous.
Millions of face masks.
3 million masks. 2.4 billion pieces of protective equipment.
Thermometers. 700,000 hazmat
All
suits.
flown out on a private jet.
We just wanted to ask you guys what all these products are and where they're going.
We're just going to overseas.
If you went out to buy a mask in January or February and noticed that there were none left, it wasn't just because there was a big rush on them. It was because there was a big export. And then when other countries had a shortage, the CCP swooped in to sell locally manufactured masks back to Europe and the United States.
Okay. Regardless of whether or not you don't like these countries or whatever, that's a smart way to do it. Convince your own overseas countrymen to ship stuff back so you can resell it to a country that's willing to pay more for it.
At an escalated price. Only then later for them to be found defective and needing to be recalled.
Yeah.
Got them again. Anyway, back to the hand sanitizer specifically.
There
was
funny.
a shortage. So New York Governor Andrew Cuomo stepped in with a solution. It's up to me now. He unveiled his new line of hand sanitizer.
Open the curtain, please.
NYS Clean. A 75% alcohol strength concoction made by the humble citizens of Great Meadows Correctional Facility.
Floral bouquet. Little I detected lilac.
It's like listening to someone who's talking about perfume or oh, I know, better yet, trying to smell what type of wine it is. You know, this is an earthy kind of smell to the wine.
hydrangea, tulips. What does it smell like to you? Tulips.
They were capable of producing 100,000 gallons every week. It was much cheaper than any other product on the market, mainly because the price of labor was pretty much zero. Other
Right.
pharmaceutical items that disappeared fast were vitamins, cough medicine, and, critically, inhalers.
How many ohms you vaping there?
It was tough for the asthmatics, already picked on for their feeble bodies. Their weak lungs, embarrassing. Everybody laughs at the asthmatics, even if we, pretend and say nice things to their face. The next big one would be gloves. Once they were recommended, there was a run on them too. And once those were out, there was a run on, surprisingly, condoms. The thinking man's glove. If you need to press a button on the elevator or push a trolley around the grocery store, no problem. Just use your cock. Last story.
One in a barrel of monkeys, you've heard people say. You can own a barrel of monkeys.
The best part about this is I missed a ton of this because I was just working at home and not going outside and just having groceries delivered. I'm a hermit by nature, so when COVID happened, I was like, "Oh, cool! Nothing's gonna change." A lot of people are like, "Well, what do you drive around for? You have a car? Where do you go during your trips?" I'm like, "I drive 25 miles a year." 25 miles a year.
In a medical center in Delhi, there's a gang of monkeys scheming. Son of a bitch. I'm in. True story, right? Some red-faced rhesus macaques, tired of their situation, go rogue. They bust out of their cage and attack a researcher, snatching COVID blood samples as they make their way to the exit. Give me that. No, Mojo, no. Put that down, bad monkey. They make a break for it, evading staff and guards, and leap out the window to freedom.
Or Mojo.
One was later seen in a tree, chewing on one of the samples.
Ooh, yummy.
In a further act of defiance, another was seen chewing on a surgical glove. Apparently it's become a big problem in Delhi. Monkeys everywhere. They snatch people's stuff and even break into homes. It seems that nature isn't just returning peacefully. It's come back with a vengeance. And if we intend to survive, we're gonna have to learn to fight back.
Against trees in nature. Okay.
So anyway, with this knowledge, we will conquer Earth and rule over it once again.
Uh-oh.
Oh no. It's here. And that's about it. Probably no part 3 unless something ridiculous happens, like an autonomous zone in Portland or the government shutting off utilities. Plugging the second channel again.
We will check more of the incognito mode stuff out soon. I have a couple more videos on this channel, and then I'll double check incognito mode as well as the what was it? There's like a gaming channel too. And then a lot of people want me to react to some like classic music stuff. So we had Stayed Alive from the Bee Gees last, and that was actually pretty good. So we're going to start listening to some more classical music on the channel as well. I probably shouldn't say that's classical. That is a classic, but it's not classical. Anyway, that was really interesting.
You bet. We've got a feature-length Sundance Reject coming out in a bit over a month. This one's going to be over an hour long.
So we will check out Sundance Reject as well, but one of them was like automatically restricted, so I got to take a look at that.
Grab some popcorn, maybe a little viewing party, watch your favorite streamer. This one will be more fun as a group. But before that, next week, there's a new In the Field. Thanks for watching. Stay good.
Infected.
All right, that was pretty good. Yeah, we'll check out all the other stuff come up. Obviously, go into the comment section and request anything you want. Tell me how dumb I am. All the usual. Have a good day, everyone.